Good morning, America. Communication breakdown. The FAA working to find out what caused air traffic control radios to fail in America's busiest airspace.
You know, same old here. Frequencies are no good. There's parts missing. I don't know. They come and go.
Triggering a ground stop and a wave of delays during the height of Labor Day travel. Plus, Ginger has the holiday weekend forecast with millions on the move.
Chilling new video inside Annunciation Catholic School Church when a shooter opened fire during morning mass.
A coward decided to take our 8-year-old son Fletcher away from us.
This morning, we hear from the families of 8-year-old Fletcher and 10-year-old Harper as we learn new details about the 911 calls.
Turmoil at the CDC. Dozens of workers walking out as the White House taps a temporary director to lead the agency, while Director Susan Menares refuses to leave after clashing with Health Secretary Kennedy over vaccine policy.
The new tariffs taking effect overnight on millions of packages from overseas. How it could impact what you buy on Amazon, Etsy, Shein, Temu, and more.
Karen Reed speaks out.
You realize when you have to sacrifice to make something happen, to fight for your life, you pull every lever you can.
We hear from her for the first time since being acquitted in the death of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe.
J. Crew under fire.
I just think the whole thing is a massive slap in the face.
Did the popular brand use AI-enhanced images in advertising? The criticism this morning and how the popular retailer is responding.
Powerball fever with the jackpot nearing $1 billion. What's the best state to try your luck?
College football season at Hard Rock Stadium. Looks like a good time down there already, guys. Hello.
Already, guys. Good
George,
morning.
you have no idea.
Well, first of all, that was Will. So Will has no idea.
The fans are already so amped up, guys, for this long-standing rivalry. The Canes. Versus the Fighting Irish.
The University of Miami is gearing up for their home opener against Notre Dame. And basically, we're kicking off all of college football season.
Yeah.
We have free-range ibis.
He's been wandering, so we're now calling him free-range ibis.
Yep.
There we go. We're already off to the races there, and Sam's got his coffee, so we've got more on that coming up. Looking forward to it. But we do begin here with the chaos at one of the nation's busiest airports during the Labor Day travel exodus. A temporary ground stop at Newark Airport because of a new round of air traffic controller communication issues. Morgan Norwood is at Newark Airport with the latest. Morgan, good morning.
Good morning to you, Ed. And we're seeing steady streams of passengers here at Newark for one of the busiest travel days of the year. And looming over it all, questions about a critical security or system failure that already caused frustrating delays.
This morning, the FAA working to find out what caused air traffic control radios to fail in America's busiest airspace. The outage triggering a ground stop and a wave of delays at Newark amid the busiest Labor Day travel period in 15 years.
We've just been having really bad frequency issues and frequency failures.
On the radios, controllers and pilots struggling to hear each other.
For Delta 1818, is it the COM or the ILS frequencies that are unreliable? It's our COM. Same old here. Frequencies are no good. There's parts missing. I don't know. They come and go.
The problem traced to a Philadelphia air traffic center that also directs flights in and out of Newark, a facility plagued by staffing shortages and equipment failures for more than a year. The FAA in turn spreading arrivals farther apart, trimming flights into Newark by nearly 20%. Passengers delayed as much as 2 hours.
You can't get yourself upset. It's a holiday weekend. There's a lot of people, lots of crying babies. They're more unhappy than I am.
But for others, patience wearing thin.
I just want to get to my destination when it says I'm going to get there.
The disruption coming as the FAA expects a record-breaking weekend for air travel. The TSA expecting more than 17 million passengers to pass through checkpoints through Wednesday.
So the good news here at Newark, we're not seeing many cancellations or delays, but experts recommend that you give yourself extra time just in case, and also expect pretty long lines like you're seeing here at Newark Wit.
Yeah, we'll brace for that. And Morgan, there is some good news for drivers as well this year, right?
Yeah, we know millions more of you are actually going to be driving to your holiday destination, so gas prices look great. We're talking $3.20 a gallon. That's down from about $3.36 from this time last year. As always, again, give yourself extra time, leave early or leave late to avoid those backups. Whit?
Morgan, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
All right, Whit. Well, thank you for that. Weather, always a big factor in those Labor Day weekend travel plans. So let's bring in Ginger for the forecast.
It is not often I get to be your good time gal, but I am today because it is eerily refreshing east of the Rockies, like well below average. And people are saying, wait, is this the coolest start to a Labor Day? Well, no. Chicago, for example, even though you're still very chilly, August to date, still the 40th warmest. So I think we're psychologically not quite there to understanding. But we will have a cooler than average weekend. Look at Oklahoma City today, over to, say, Mississippi, Alabama, even Georgia, some 10 to 15 degrees below average. So that depth of the cold is going to be with us. And I say cold relatively, right? The heat is actually out in the west, 91 for Los Angeles. You could see some excessive rainfall for a flash flood threat anywhere from Jackson, Mississippi to Mobile and back to over, say, Baton Rouge. So watch for that if you're driving along I-10 or anything there along the Gulf Coast. Through the weekend, we will see storms right there in the middle of the nation. Sunday, down into Houston, and Rebecca, Monday, still looking really nice around here.
All right, we really hope people can enjoy it. Thank you, Ginger. We're going to turn now to the shooting that left 2 young children dead at a Catholic school in Minneapolis. We're learning more this morning about those chaotic moments and hearing from the families of those 2 children. Alex Perez is in Minneapolis for us with the latest. You've been reporting on this since the early days. Alex, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Rebecca. Yeah, we're learning a lot more about those 2 young children killed in this horrific shooting as investigators now comb through mounds of evidence, searching for answers.
This morning, chilling new video revealing the horrifying scene inside Annunciation Catholic School Church when a shooter opened fire during morning mass. Video taken by a parent who raced to the church. Students and parishioners running through the pews, fearing for their lives.
More than anything, the shooter wanted to kill children, defenseless children.
2 young children killed, just 8 and 10 years old. 18 others injured. Of those, 15 are between the ages of 6 and 15. Law enforcement reportedly descending on a condo in Naples, Florida, owned by the shooter's mother on Wednesday. She wasn't home, and police say they have been unsuccessful in communicating with her. According to reports, she's hired a criminal defense attorney. Now, new details emerging on how the chaos unfolded Wednesday. 911 calls coming in at 8:27 a.m. An officer scrambling to the scene, arriving by 8:31. According to authorities, the church, following its own safety policy, locked its doors when Mass began. The shooter unleashing a hail of bullets from outside the building.
Thankfully, to the processes that the church had in place, all of the things that those kids, that the school staff did, clearly this could have been so much worse.
And this morning, we're hearing from the heartbroken families of the 2 children killed. 10-year-old Harper Moisky survived by her parents and her little sister. Her family in a statement saying, "Our hearts are broken not only as parents, but also for Harper's sister, who adored her big sister and is grieving an unimaginable loss. As a family, we are shattered and words cannot capture the depth of our pain." Also gunned down, 8-year-old Fletcher Merkel.
We will never be allowed to hold him, talk to him, play with him, and watch him grow into the wonderful young man he was on the path to becoming.
Fletcher's dad, Jesse, emotional, speaking in front of the school, remembering his little boy.
Fletcher loved his family, friends, fishing, cooking, and any sport that he was allowed to play. While the hole in our hearts and lives will never be filled, I hope that in time our family can find healing.
Just such a tough time for these families, and the governor here says he plans to deploy law enforcement to schools and places of worship to help support public safety. Rebecca?
A nightmare no family should ever have to experience, and we grieve along with them. We are so thankful for those heroes, and we appreciate your reporting on this, Alex. Thank you. Whit?
Yeah, Rebecca, we turn now to the latest turmoil at the CDC after the White House announced the firing of the agency's director who refused to resign. The administration saying only the president could remove her and then selecting a temporary replacement. Our senior political correspondent Rachel Scott is tracking all of it from the White House. Rachel, good morning.
Whit, good morning to you. And this sudden shakeup has prompted a standoff at the CDC. Susan Menares says she will not resign, but the White House already moving to install a temporary replacement, a top ally of Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. This morning, the White House tapping HHS Deputy Secretary Jim O'Neill to temporarily lead the CDC, as the Trump administration claims to have fired Director Susan Menares, who was sworn in just last month.
Susan is an expert in public health.
Menares denies she's been fired and refuses to resign. The nation's top public health agency left reeling. Dozens of workers walking out yesterday, 4 top officials resigning in protest.
We need our leaders above us to believe in CDC and stop saying question the experts.
HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been looking to remake the agency.
There's a lot of trouble at CDC, and it's going to require getting rid of some people over the long term in order for us to change the institutional culture.
Kennedy, a known vaccine skeptic, is seeking to overhaul the nation's vaccine policy. Kennedy insisted Menares get on board with his changes, but Menares' lawyers say she refused to rubber stamp unscientific, reckless directives and fire dedicated health experts. The former acting director of the CDC, Dr. Richard Besser, saying Menares was standing up to Kennedy.
There were 2 lines. One is that she would never do anything that was illegal, and the other was that she would never do anything that flew in the face of science, and she was being asked to do both of those things.
Menares' lawyers say only the president can fire her, and she still hasn't heard from him. The White House insisting he has fired her because she is not aligned with his mission. And Jim O'Neill, the person that the White House has tapped to serve as the interim director, says that he does support vaccines, but not vaccine mandates. Rebecca.
All right, Rachel, thank you. We turn now to new tariffs coming into effect overnight as a loophole closes for millions of international packages. Senior White House correspondent Selena Wang is here with more on how consumers will be impacted. There's a pretty big ripple effect here. Good morning, Selena.
Hey, good morning, guys. This is a very big ripple effect here. We're talking about all those cheap goods that we buy online. Well, they could get a whole lot more expensive. The Trump administration just closed a loophole that allowed goods $800 and under to enter the U.S. tax-free. But as of this morning, those goods will face 10 to 50% tariffs depending on the country they came from, or a flat fee of $80 to $200 per package. So that could mean, guys, higher prices and longer delivery times on everything from clothes, makeup, electronics that we buy from overseas. Just think about all of those budget finds that we get on Amazon, Etsy, Shein, and Temu that could all be impacted. Now, key here is that you have UPS, DHL, and FedEx saying they'll keep delivering, but many postal services from Asia to Europe, they're pumping the brakes here, suspending their deliveries to the U.S. So experts say, guys, unfortunately, don't be surprised if your order takes longer or even gets canceled altogether. And with this upcoming holiday season, many companies may start changing their shipping and return policies. But there's a silver lining here. There is one small carve out on personal gifts worth $100 or less. So let's say your sister lives in Canada and she wants to send you a t-shirt for Christmas. That would still come into the country tax-free, but say you yourself want to order a t-shirt from Canada online, well, that could cost you extra.
Okay. Need to make some friends in Canada.
Noticeable effects up and down the chain. Selena, thank you so much. Great to have you with us here at the desk. Great to see you. We are going to turn now because Labor Day weekend means college football kicking off in a big way. Huge games all weekend long, many right here on ABC. And our sports doctoral candidate has all the details. Sam Champion, good morning to you, sir.
Well, you know, by the way, Will, good morning back to all of you. I needed to have Lara in if we're talking sports.
I'm here for moral support and also because I wanted him to understand that the early season matchups, they're going to be a doozy.
Yeah. We've got top-ranked teams. We've got big star players all gearing up to touchdown, if you will, for the start of football season on and off the field.
Well done.
Thank you.
Got a blocker. Airborne. Touchdown.
This weekend, college football is finally back.
Tipped it into the air with his foot.
And it's off to a rocking start. Overnight, a sea of red as Nebraska faced off against Cincinnati with some very famous faces in the stands.
Travis Kelce with Taylor Swift, his fiance, in the building. Congrats.
Taylor Swift and Bearcats alum Travis Kelce making their first public appearance since announcing their engagement, sharing a box at Arrowhead Stadium with Chiefs teammate Patrick Mahomes.
It's picked off by Hartzog.
The Cornhusker sending Kelce's former team packing in a thriller. This weekend will feature a whopping 6 games with the top 20 opponents facing off against each other. It's the kind of matchup you normally see at the end of the season.
Texas strikes again.
The #1 ranked Texas Longhorns traveling to Columbus to take on the 3rd ranked Ohio State.
Touchdown, Ohio State takes the lead.
And all eyes will be on number 16, Texas quarterback Arch Manning.
And Arch Manning fires, and he's got it complete.
He's the grandson of New Orleans Saints legend Archie. Uncles Peyton and Eli have a combined 4 Super Bowls under their belt.
I'm just having fun. I dreamed of being in this position, so I'm not going to take it for granted.
And whether it's Clemson taking on LSU,
10-5 touchdown!
or here in Miami where Notre Dame will clash against the Hurricanes. One thing is for sure, this year's top Division I players are in for quite a windfall, earning twice as much money as they did last year. In combination, it's a $1.9 billion payout. At the top of that list, making $6.8 million just this season, none other than previously mentioned Arch Manning.
All right, so that milestone marks another big one for college football, by the way. There's a lot of money and a lot of fun involved here. We want to give a special shout out to the game's most ardent fan, Mr. Lee Corso, who's been broadcasting from ESPN's College Game Day for nearly 40 years. Lee, at 90 years young, tomorrow's game day in Ohio will mark your retirement, your final pick for a winner.
An amazing game. He's going to Ohio State. He'll be in Columbus to decide who the winner will be between Ohio State and Texas. That is not an easy game to pick.
No, it's not.
And it will be momentous because Lee Corso is just a legend. So, big deal.
All
Back
right.
to you guys.
Back to you guys.
Just a legend, like the hat on Sam's head.
Sam's doing a Lee Corso impression right there with the headgear.
All right, we'll check back in with you with a lot more. Yeah, you got it. All right, coming up here on GMA, the other game that people are counting down to this weekend, Stephanie Ramos has the Powerball fever. Hey, Stephanie.
Hey there, the Powerball jackpot is nearly $1 billion. It has been months since anyone has hit all 6 numbers. When we come back, I'll share with you which state has had the biggest prizes.
Are you feeling lucky? All right, Stephanie, thank you. Also ahead, AI outrage. J.Crew under fire after being accused of using AI for an ad campaign. How the retailer is responding.
And how to save on your dream family vacation, from cruises to Disney to Broadway and beyond.
All right, Lara and Sam, what do you got for us coming up from Miami?
Yeah, I mean, this is really the kickoff of the college football season. The U taking on Notre Dame. We've got all the details coming up on GMA.
Welcome back to GMA. That is Sabrina Carpenter dropping a brand new music video overnight along with her entire new 7th studio album, Man's Best Friend. And guys, that's about all we can show you from the music video, starring Sabrina Carpenter and Holman Domingo, who posted overnight, about to break the internet. Carpenter will also be featured on Taylor Swift's highly anticipated album, due out in October.
Yeah.
Very listenable.
It's
music.
catchy.
Yeah.
Holman Domingo does literally everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are 2 people having a moment right
Huge
now.
talents.
But we have to take a moment to get to the Powerball jackpot because it's reached nearly $1 billion. People across the country are lining up for a shot at the 6th largest prize in game history. Those people include Stephanie Ramos. She is at a place where you can buy Powerball tickets. She has all the details. Hi there, Stephanie.
Hey there, good morning. Folks are already coming into stores like these to get their lottery ticket. After 3 months with no winner, the Powerball jackpot, pull the door here, Powerball jackpot is nearly $950 million. You heard that right. That is almost $1 billion. You can see it right here. Now, Saturday's drawing will be the 6th largest Powerball jackpot ever. And it turns out California might be the state where you can try your luck. The Golden State is home to 4 out of the 10 largest jackpots. Of course, the odds of winning are 1 in 292 million. Sounds a little bleak, but hear me out. The odds of winning any prize is 1 in 25. So keep the faith, buy your ticket. Who knows? You never know.
Whatever.
Wow. All right. So we were just chatting here about all of this, and maybe we'll head out and get a ticket. You get a few for us.
We're
please,
sending our
Steph.
ticket orders in right now. Thank you, Stephanie.
We're close.
Yeah,
Just a few blocks away.
You got it. All right, it's coming in hot in the text. All right, we do turn now to Karen Reed, speaking out for the first time since being acquitted in the death of her Boston police officer boyfriend, John O'Keefe. Rhiannon Alley is here with that story. Rhiannon, good morning.
A lot of people have been waiting to hear what she had to to say. And Karen Reed spoke out on the Howie Carr show, telling Carr she doesn't know day to day what her next move is, but she'd like to write a book. She says there is a lot more about what it took to fight this behind closed doors.
This morning, Karen Reed speaking out for the first time since being acquitted in the death of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe.
You realize when you have to sacrifice to make something happen, to fight for your life, you pull every lever you can.
Reed was found not guilty in June of this year and has remained out of the spotlight since leaving the courthouse victorious. The former adjunct professor found guilty of a single lesser charge of drunk driving and sentenced to a year of probation. Now she's speaking on the Howie Carr show about life after the verdict.
There's moments I have every day that have these little epiphanies of, wow, this is the first time I've done fill in the blank in the last 4 years that I wasn't living with this nightmare.
Prosecutors argued Reed rammed her SUV into O'Keefe after a night of drinking and left him to die in a blizzard. But the defense argued Reed's car never struck O'Keefe, saying the investigation was biased from the start, something Reed and her attorney Alan Jackson maintained today.
Right, they had me buried for a while.
That was the abject lie.
Pin it on the girl.
Pin it on the girl.
Reed revealing she's been living with her parents, forced to sell her house to cover the cost of her defense, and likely would not be returning to her career in finance since being the center of such a high-profile trial.
I have other things I need to do in terms of illuminating what I've seen.
Jackson and Reed also suggesting they may file a civil lawsuit, but they didn't specify who that suit would be against. So still more to come with this, we think.
And Rhiannon, shifting gears to a personal note for you. This was your last night overnight on the early morning shows, and you're moving now to the dayside programs on ABC News. Congratulations on the new role. A little bit more sleep in store, a little bit,
I'll
right?
be sleeping when it's dark outside, and hopefully you'll all be seeing a lot more of me.
Yes, indeed. We are
Thanks,
thrilled
guys.
we'll get to see more of you. Thanks, Rhiannon. Appreciate that. We're going to turn now to J. Crew. Under fire, the latest company allegedly using AI in an ad campaign. Trevor Alt joins us with the outrage as the popular brand faces major criticism. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Rebecca. So this week, J. Crew published an Instagram post that had some old school style photos, including this one. But a few things in these pictures were just a bit off. And that post is now filled with comments of people calling it AI slop.
This morning, J. Crew is under fire. The popular and storied retailer facing criticism for what some are speculating are AI-generated images promoting their brand. These are the photos. They look just like J. Crew ads of the past, but these pictures may not be real. You'd have to look very closely to make out the glitches on the clothing and photos' distortions, first pointed out by Blackbird Spy Plane. The caption now credits a digital artist, and the comments are full of complaints.
I just think the whole thing is a massive slap in the face.
Not only are we not using the creative resources that we have, we are recycling old creative from people.
In a statement, J. Crew told The Cut, "We're always exploring new forms of creative expression, and we engage artists of all genres to interpret our brand and experiment with different art mediums." And there are still major questions about the ethics of AI and intellectual property, but the technology is only growing more prevalent and harder to differentiate from reality.
We have to decide where are we okay with using it and where are we not okay with using it, and where do we draw those lines.
And a big part of the criticism of AI advertising is that it's possible this art was specifically told to resemble the work real people had done who were not paid this time. And that is the big debate. If your work is used to train the AI for free, is that theft? Well, that depends on who you ask. Guys?
Yeah, that's a thorny issue there, Trevor.
Point.
Yeah, thank you for that. Dream travel team on this huge travel weekend. Becky Worley is standing by. She's got the last second deals you can still get, but we will start here with Will Gantz. He has some saving strategies for you and your family. Will, good morning.
Good morning, Will. According to AAA, Seattle, Orlando, and New York are the 3 most popular cities over Labor Day weekend. So if you've got Disney as a destination or an Alaskan cruise in mind, or maybe a Broadway show on the brain, here's how you can kickball change your way to a bargain. 'Tis the season for travel.
I'm ready to party.
As bridesmaids, backpackers, and budget-conscious vacationers are looking for 11th-hour excursions this summer. From cruises to Broadway getaways to Disney vacays. Searches for last-minute travel deals are up 63% on TikTok in the last week.
Buy discounted Disney gift cards and use them to pay for everything. Get them at places like Target and Sam's Club, and it's a great way to guarantee a discount built into your trip.
Kirsty Tarak has racked up more than 3 million followers sharing money-saving tips, including her Disney on a Dime series.
Use a freaking Disney vacation planner. They are 100% free. They know the best places to go and the best accommodations for you and your family.
In fact, Disney family vacation searches are up more than 1,000% on TikTok this week.
Stay on property. You can find hotels at Disney in the lower 100s. So if you stay on property, you actually get more bang for your buck because you're getting early park admission.
Meanwhile, for the projected 19 million Americans escaping to the high seas this year, now could be a good time to book a cruise. Carnival Cruise Line's Labor Day sale offering a $400 onboard credit and 25% off select onboard experiences like spa treatments and drink programs. And Margaritaville at Sea's Labor Day cruise deal offers 80% off cruise fares for second, third, and fourth passengers on cruise itineraries aboard the Paradise and the Islander. For sports fans, sites like Game Time offer resale tickets to big games. First-time users can get $20 off their purchase of $200 or more with code SAVE20. And for New York tourists, when it comes to Broadway shows, many shows offer a digital lottery that opens 24 hours before the show, with winners being notified a few hours before curtain. And many of those Broadway shows also offer super affordable rush tickets when the box office opens every day at 10 a.m. As for other summer savings, well, to quote the Broadway musical Chicago, I simply cannot do it alone.
All right, well, no, you can't be. You did a great job. We're excited for the Margaritaville cruise.
Yeah.
We're going to come back to that, but it is why we have Becky Worley here to get us some of those last-minute deals that you can get this morning. Becky, you can get deals this morning?
This morning for travel starting like this afternoon or tomorrow, there are apps like Going on your phone. That's one. It's called Going. I love Google Flights. I use their flexible destination feature, and that's a key. So we're going to start with flights leaving, let's say Saturday. Tomorrow, last minute's where the savings are. I found round trips from New York to Nashville, $246, Detroit to Miami, $281, and from Philly to San Fran, $371. The high in San Francisco this weekend, 71 degrees and sunny. Come chill West Coast, guys.
Oh, that sounds pretty nice. So we got the Google Flights flexible feature for the flights. What about when you need a place to stay?
Yeah, VRBO has last-minute booking. That's their last-minute booking filter for stays within 30 days of check-in. We're talking about savings of $300 or more. Also, Hotwire and Priceline offer a mystery feature where you can go in there and say, hey, okay, where am I going to stay? And what it'll do is they'll basically tell you the rating and the rough location, and with a little sleuthing, you can usually figure it out.
A mystery hotel. Not sure that that's my thing, but to each their own. How about cruises? Any last-minute deals there?
Oh yeah, cruises last minute is where it's at. So let's start with some of the ones that I saw on cruisecritic.com. So we had a 4-night Bahamas cruise. It was out of Fort Lauderdale, and that was $87 a night. Then there was a 5-night Caribbean cruise on Carnival from Miami. That was $51 a night. Those prices are insane.
Yeah, they are. All right. Okay. Becky, thanks. Will, thanks. Whit?
Thank you so much. All right, let's get right back to Sam and Lara, Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. All the energy helping us gear up for football season. What's up, guys?
So I don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to get right to it. Number 10, Miami, taking on number 6, Notre Dame. We are pumped up. It's happening this weekend. And guys, the Hurricanes and the Fighting Irish, they have quite a rivalry. Check this out.
Down the sideline, it is caught! What a catch!
It is one of the great rivalries in college football. And this Sunday, they face off again.
When Miami meets Notre Dame on the field, tempers can get a little bit hot.
Miami dominated Notre Dame.
It's a feud that goes back 40 years to 1985. Patrick Creedon was a Notre Dame student at the time and directed the ESPN 30 for 30 doc about the feud.
They wanted to beat us and beat us badly. That left a really bad taste in a lot of Notre Dame people's mouths.
But Notre Dame would rebuild, and when they met again in 1988, the bitter rivalry exploded even before kickoff.
We're in the stands. Oh my God, they're fighting. Like the game hadn't even started yet. It was madness.
And in a nail-biter finish,
Notre Dame's got it. This place about to explode.
So Notre Dame went on to win the national championships, by the way, that year, and this rivalry has been so intense. This team has not played since 2017 because it got a little bit contentious.
Yeah.
So this is a huge game on Sunday.
Speaking of big rivalry
and contentious.
Yeah, and the last time we were here, which was early in the season, we made a bet on who would win. I won that bet. You had to serve me croissants.
That was the Orange Bowl, and
who's going to win? We got to tell them quick.
I guess Notre Dame if I have to pick.
I'm going with Miami. We'll see. We'll see. Back to you guys. Back to you guys.
7:30 Sunday, ABC, and we have more coming up with these fans.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. The new hope for weight loss with promising clinical trials on a GLP-1 pill. A look at the future of these medications and what you should know if you're considering the shot or waiting for the pill.
Katrina, 20 years later. Robin is back in her hometown, 2 decades after the storm left a trail of destruction. This morning, meet the kids of Katrina, now grown.
Dealing with the storm, being a child, it kind of forced you to just grow up.
Where they are now, and how the storm changed them.
In the twinkling of an eye, our lives changed.
A preview of Robin's powerful special you'll only see on GMA.
And get ready to rock into the weekend with Simple Plan here live. And they're saying,
Good morning, America!
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Friday. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. Will's got the air guitar out. He's ready to rock.
Yeah.
And we are ready to rock. Simple Plan is here with us.
Yeah, you know what else is a simple plan for great TV? Put Lara and Sam together. They're at Hard Rock Stadium.
In new hats.
New hats and jerseys. They are in Miami ahead of the U's big game against Notre Dame. Hey, guys.
Hey, Will, you know this is not easy for me as a very loyal Penn State fan, but I wanted to keep it balanced because we are, yes, I know, we are in the home of the U. With some very brave Notre Dame fans. The big game is this weekend. This is a huge rivalry, and we've got the U's band
the
here,
Irish
right?
is there. We've got a big group of Notre Dame folks here. We've got the Miami Dancers here, the Sensations, their cheerleaders.
We've got Sam in full getup and Sebastian the Ibis.
But guys, we are all cheering for the University of Miami's littlest fan with the biggest heart. We have got an incredible surprise as only GMA can orchestrate coming up this morning.
A really uplifting surprise coming up. Sam doing his full Clark Griswold. All right, thanks, guys. Now we're going to go over to you, Whit.
Rebecca, thank you. The U.S. Congress is coming back into session after the summer recess, and there are a number of top issues making headlines. So joining us now is House Speaker Mike Johnson. Mr. Speaker, it's great to have you this morning. We really appreciate it.
Great to be with you.
You have a very busy week coming up. I know there are a number of things that you're going to tackle on the agenda, but I do want to ask you about some of the turmoil at the CDC first. The director has been fired. Some top officials walking off the job at odds over RFK Jr.'s vaccine policies. Is this the change that you wanted to see? And what do you expect could be happening in the coming days?
Well, I think overall, Secretary Kennedy's doing a great job. There's been a shakeup that's been needed there, and I think we've got to trust the Secretary to do his job. They've had some great results there. We're getting America healthy again. That's well received across the country and long overdue, in my view. So we're going to let the Cabinet do their job, and I'm going to stay in my lane and do mine.
But with this concern, does this turmoil only add to the deterioration of confidence in the CDC? And there is some concern that if the vaccine policies change or they're not recommended, then insurance companies won't provide coverage, and that could mean that people who want them may not have access. Does that worry you?
We'll have to see how all that sorts out. The CDC plays an important role in the government and in our society, and we want it to be strong, and we want it to be restored to its original intent. The Secretary's made a good point that the existing leadership was not doing that. So we'll see who the replacement is. I don't know who that is yet, but it obviously plays an important function, and we'll have to see how it plays out.
Let's turn to the so-called Big Beautiful Bill. That was a big accomplishment for the Republicans, for President Trump. The president himself, though, is talking openly about rebranding it because it has been so far quite unpopular. A recent Pew survey shows that only 32% of Americans approve of it. Why do you think many Americans still aren't quite on board?
Well, I'm not surprised by that number at all, because the Democrat Party and the mainstream media spent a lot of time trying to discredit the bill. The individual components of it, when they're polled, are wildly popular. And so what we did over the August district work period is all the Republican members of Congress, Senate and House, went out, fanned out across the country in their districts, and talked with the American people about the extraordinary provisions that are in this bill. It is aptly named, it is big, and it is beautiful, and every single American is going to benefit from it. It was written for lower and middle class earners, and they're going to have higher wages, more opportunity. The U.S. economy is going to grow, and that was the whole point of it. We had the largest tax cuts in U.S. history in the bill and the largest savings in history at the same time. So
and some big cuts, though, and even some Republicans concerned about some of them.
Well, no, the cuts were to fraud, waste, and abuse, and they were things that, again, are wildly popular when the American people actually understand what was done. And so the good news for us is we have plenty of time for people to feel the effects of that before they vote in the midterm election that comes up next fall, and for us to go out and talk about what's really in the bill and not the fake news about it.
When Congress comes back into session, there will also be a new push for the release of the Epstein files. There have been some critics within your own party. Republican Congressman Thomas Massie is among those who've been critical of some of your efforts on this. He's joining a bipartisan effort to try to force a vote on the House floor. How would you respond to that? And do you believe that Americans deserve more transparency on the Epstein issue?
Absolutely. We've been 100% consistent about this forever.
What about a vote on the floor?
If it's necessary, we will. I think what's happened over August, over the last few weeks, has probably mooted the necessity of legislation, because right now the administration is in full compliance with congressional subpoenas. They've submitted over 34,000 Epstein documents to Congress just in the last couple of weeks. And our Oversight Committee is going through the deliberative process. We are for maximum transparency. We always have been. But we also have to be careful to protect the innocent victims. And it takes time to do that, to redact the necessary information. You don't want, for example, minors who are subjected to these unspeakable Epstein evils to go through another round of harm. And so that's the protective sort of lens that's being used for this. But everything, we need to be out. We trust the American people to make their own decisions, and they will soon have all of that.
So you wouldn't oppose a vote on the floor?
No, we'll move a vote if necessary. But I mean, right now that process is actually underway, and we're grateful to see it. I mean, I have been, from the very beginning, say we want all of it out so long as we protect the innocent.
I want to ask you about another difficult tragedy. We saw the school shooting in Minnesota. There have been so many of these, and there's growing frustration that whenever something like this happens, people talk about it, but the politicians are failing to get anything done. Do you have any plans this time, in the wake of this latest tragedy, to propose new legislation or anything as it relates to gun violence or mental health?
Let me be real clear about this. I mean, everybody in America is heartbroken over this disaster. It's the latest in a string, and it's just terrible. Our gratitude goes out to law enforcement, the first responders, and our prayers go out for the families and everybody involved in that community. We saw the father of that little boy, the 8-year-old Fletcher Merkel, who lost his life, give some just heart-wrenching remarks yesterday, showing strength. But listen, it's important that politicians on either side of the aisle do not politicize a moment like this. There are many common sense measures that can and should be taken to protect children at schools and churches that do not involve taking away the constitutional rights of law-abiding American citizens. At the end of the day, the problems in these situations is not the guns, it's the human heart. And we can put more resources towards treatment of mental health. Obviously, this terrible, evil person who did this was suffering from serious mental health issues. We've got to be on guard to make sure that we can foresee that and prevent it, and then harden our facilities. There's a lot of things that could be done.
But will we see something this session? Do you plan on proposing something?
Look, we're open to any bipartisan solution that can address these kinds of issues that actually go to the heart of the matter. You know, we're always open for that.
Speaker Johnson, we always appreciate your time.
Thanks a lot. Good to see you.
Will, Rebecca, back to you.
All right, Whit, thank you. And coming up in our morning menu here on GMA, the new hope for weight loss medications with GLP-1 pills on the horizon. What we know about how they stack up to the shots. Dr. Darian Sutton is here to break that down for us.
Also ahead, Lori B's here with deal drops, some of the biggest sales happening this weekend, including mattresses.
Plus, summer's best bites. Cookbook author Casey Elsass is here with great recipes for your Labor Day party, including a twist on a cookout classic. And Lara and Sam are still in Miami, still having a great time, gearing up for college. Another new hat, Sam.
Guys, we are dancing, we are cheering. Maya, Dana, gear me up. All right, now we're ready. We bring in some game day energy to the field, if you will.
Well, as you can imagine, I'm trying to control the situation. I also want to share with you a famous saying at the U. It's respect the U. It's a famous slogan for the University of Miami Hurricanes. But one little girl is teaching us all what it really means to play like a champion, like Notre Dame says. That story is coming up. It's beautiful. Don't miss it. Coming up on GMA.
Back now with our GMA cover story, the soaring interest in weight loss pills after Eli Lilly released promising new data about its GLP-1 pill in clinical trials earlier this week. We've brought in ABC News medical correspondent Dr. Darian Sutton to break it all down for us. Doctor, good to see you. Thanks for being here. So there are many different weight loss pills in development. What is coming up? What can people expect in a timeline and results?
I'm so happy you asked this question because after our last discussion earlier this week, so many people have asked me questions. I've been fielding them. The weight loss research pipeline is one of the busiest in modern medicine. As we discussed earlier, there are dozens of GLP-1 pills that are currently in clinical trials. We know Novo Nordisk has already submitted their application to the Food and Drug Administration, and if that were to be approved, it could make a GLP-1 pill available as early as this year, the end of this year. And also Eli Lilly passing phase 3. Well, that's the biggest phase, the most important, where you confirm consistency across a diverse population. If that were to be approved, we could possibly have 2 GLP-1 pills available in 2026. I think something really important as we move forward, you're going to see a lot of percentages. I'm going to be discussing that. You can't easily compare them. These are not head-to-head clinical trials. Although we do see that injectables seem to be edging out in terms of more percentage in weight loss, you really can't compare to the convenience of a pill. We'll have to wait and see as more studies come out.
Well, and you say a lot of these pills will be coming out next year. There's so much interest in this right now. If someone's thinking about taking these medications, should they start with the shot? Could they start with the shot and then go to a pill later?
That's a great question. And theoretically, the answer is yes. But of course, we would have to wait for clinical studies to understand the benefit of transferring from one option to another. But injectable medications have been around since 2005. That's nearly 2 decades. We have a good amount of evidence. And also we can see that they're improving outcomes beyond diabetes, beyond weight loss, but even outcomes such as sleep apnea and cardiovascular disease. The questions that you have to ask yourself are what conditions do you have? What risks are you concerned about in terms of your personal risk, but also risk of the medication? And also, what can you consistently and comfortably maintain? That is the key here. We have to remember that obesity is chronic, complex, lifelong, and often relapsing. So you want to make sure to make the right decision that you can stick with.
All important considerations there. Dr. Darian Sutton, thank you as always for making us smarter. Appreciate you being here. Now let's go down to Miami, where Lara and Sam are up to even more.
Okay, make sure you cue them.
Hey, Will. Yeah, Lara's getting everything organized. Come on in, Lara. Here we go. All right, so we're kicking off college football's opening weekend.
Yeah, this is so amazing down here. The U is ready to take on Notre Dame. Keeping it fair here, people.
Yeah, we're keeping it fair. Now on and off the court, field, right?
We're working on it.
We're almost there. We are all about one pint-sized Miami superfan, giving everyone a reason to cheer.
Check it out.
A cartwheel? That's nothing for 5-year-old Paisley and her big sister Peyton.
I like doing gymnastics.
But in 2022, simply landing against something too hard would have left Paisley injured.
She fell, and it was like a fall that wouldn't cause any injuries at all, and she instantly bruised. And so they advised us to go to the hospital, and that's when we found out she had leukemia.
B-cell acute lymphoblastic leukemia, a rapidly growing blood cancer that affects her bone marrow.
My heart was shattered. I didn't want her to have to go through this, and I just knew that from here on out, nothing would be the same.
It was hard throughout the week. We didn't see each other at all. I would go home, take care of the oldest, Peyton, and on the weekends, we'd see each other long enough to switch spots at the hospital.
Thank you!
The carefree life of a toddler that Zach and Caitlin wanted for Paisley was now time spent in hospitals.
Her whole treatment, she couldn't play at parks. She couldn't go out and play with friends. She was learning more about cancer and chemo than she did ABCs and 1, 2, 3s.
But after 3 years of treatment,
Ring this bell 3 times well. A told to clearly say, my treatment's done.
this January, the moment they prayed for came.
Was that exciting for you? Yeah. Yeah, you rang it really hard too, huh?
I rang it really hard.
I'm Paisley.
All right, so joining us now are Paisley with her sisters Peyton. And by the way, Cora, I wasn't quite ready for you yet, Cora, but you're brand new. All right, also Caitlin and Zachary are here with us this morning. So thank you guys for coming in this morning. So Caitlin, I know this has been kind of a tough journey along the way. Other families who have had to deal with things like this are going to look to your story. And you guys got a lot of support from the wonderful Triumph Together organization. What's the message you want to tell people?
Yeah, so I think my biggest message would be to lean on the support, take all resources. They're there to help and not to be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
And just to always remember that this is just a chapter and not the whole story of the book.
Yes, that is beautiful. And hello, Miss Paisley. Hi. So the University of Miami cheerleaders have made you an honorary cheerleader.
Oh my goodness, Paisley, are you ready?
Those are your pom-poms. And are you gonna do a little cheer for us? Give us your best cocaine.
Ready? Ready?
Set. Woo!
You got it. Beautifully done. Beautifully done.
Hey, yeah. Good job,
I understand this right? We actually have a favorite player, don't we? Yes. And who is it?
It was Cam Ward, even though we only had him for 1 year.
Right?
Yeah.
So, well, we've managed to track him down. We're Good Morning America. We can find him. So here's Cam.
What's up, Paisley? You know who it is. It's Cam. I heard about your condition. Just want to let you know that we praying for you over here. I'm praying for you. And then I heard you also a big Miami Hurricane fan. So I want to surprise you and your family, with 4 tickets to the game this Sunday, to see the Hurricanes, beat the Fight Irish. Always go Canes. Fight Irish.
Oh my goodness. So guys, congratulations. Sebastian is here. Did you see Sebastian? He wants to give you tickets to the game. You guys will be here on Sunday night watching the Canes play the Irish. And hey, we also want to say thank you to the Hard Rock Hotel for the hotel rooms. They were amazing as well.
Peyton, thank you for being an amazing big sister. We know you guys are going to have so much fun. We know
are
you
you
are.
Excited?
Gosh, this is, and of course, as per cheerleader, she only cares about the pom-poms right now at this minute. Absolutely right. All right, you can catch the University of Miami taking on Notre Dame this Sunday at 7:30 p.m. in Eastern on ABC.
It is time now for our Deal Drop Days, Labor Day edition, and Lori Bergamato is here with some of the biggest sales happening this weekend. You can shop all these products by scanning that QR code on your screen. Great to see you, Lori B, ahead of the big weekend.
Yes.
And we love a deal drop.
We do, so let's kick things off with the first one. So, Rebecca, you will recognize the Satya mattress. So we're going to turn it this way so
you
everybody
really
at home
brought the
can
whole
see.
mattress.
We did. We really wanted to. We did some investigative reporting here. Now, this one is a GMA fan favorite.
Yeah.
Feel it. You got that pillow top there. It has dual coil. It's naturally cooling. White glove delivery. It is incredible. The original price on this is $12.99. The sale price is $949. Now, they are having some Labor Day sale promos, but there's a special one, you guys. For GMA viewers, they are giving you guys $450 off any $1,000 purchase. So you're gonna have to scan that QR code to find out how to do that.
Excellent. Thank you. That is a huge deal.
That's a good one.
All right.
All right, next one. So Rebecca, you're a mom.
Of course.
You know that buying quality clothes at an affordable price is really important to families.
Yes.
I know it, you know it, everybody out there knows it. So Land's End offers that to everybody. And right now, they are affordable. They're even more affordable because they have up to 75% off most sale items.
Really?
Like this swimsuit here, which I love what they call it. It's tugless in the back. Women out there, you hear me?
Good
you know what
coverage. We can see it.
Good coverage. And that's $48.97 original price. Sale price just under $15. So good time to get swim stuff. And then for kids, you can look ahead and get their jackets. So this one's $89.95, sale price $44.97 because it's 50% off full price items. So
Excellent. This is the time of year to do swimsuits.
Totally.
Okay.
It's also the time of year to do vacuum shopping at Amazon. So of course, Amazon is offering tons of great deals. We found this Shark Vertex stick vacuum up to a 60-minute battery life. It's great if you are a pet parent. Strong suction. The original price on this, $429.99. The sale price, $229.99. That's almost 50% off Shark. Such a great brand. So
yeah, I hear great things about this one.
It's a great one. And speaking of great, personal electronics. For Labor Day weekend, this is a really good time to check out some personal electronics sales on Amazon. These are from JBL. That is a name that everybody will recognize out there. Really high quality. These are their Tune Buds. So these original price just under $100. The sale price is $59.95. That's 40% off, and these will last you 48 hours without a charge.
48 hours.
So incredible, and they're noise canceling. So
we like that.
Great price for
Excellent.
That. And finally,
I see the sparkle.
It is always a good time for
I
jewelry,
like a sparkle.
is it not? And for Labor Day weekend, you cannot beat the prices that Zales is offering because they have up to 40% off on all of their gold.
Wow.
And also on pretty much everything, 35% off fashion jewelry, 30% off bridal favorites. And even this necklace here, Rebecca, is around $429, and on sale, you can get it for $257. So it's a great deal at Zales. Lots to see,
That
lots
is so
to buy this
pretty
weekend.
and delicate. I love
Gorgeous.
that. And you are beautiful.
Thanks, lady.
I wouldn't call you delicate. You're Lori B, and we love you.
Strong.
And you can find more Labor Day discounts on our GoodMorningAmerica.com. And coming up here, we love you. Thanks, Lori B. Coming up here, cookbook author Casey Elsas is here with great ideas to bring your Labor Day weekend cookout. Stay with us.
Welcome back to GMA, live from New York City.
And we're back now with a preview of Robin's powerful special, Hurricane Katrina, 20 years after the storm. It's been 2 decades since the storm devastated the Gulf Coast and changed countless lives. This morning, Robin has a look at the kids of Katrina, the psychological effects of the storm, and how they're doing now.
This morning, 20 years since Hurricane Katrina devastated the Gulf Coast. The eye of the storm not far from my beloved hometown of Pass Christian, Mississippi, leaving a trail of pain and destruction.
It's so important for people to realize the long-term effect that a storm like Katrina can have. Even if an area builds back, you still have families who lost their inheritance, if you will. These were homes that their ancestors passed on to them. So to lose their homes at a time that they could not afford to live and buy in that area now, a place where they used to live and live for generations.
The psychological effects of such a tragedy, one of the worst natural disasters in our nation's history, even more difficult for so-called Katrina babies to process.
Ever since I was a little girl, I just loved the city and loved everything about it and the people. Literally a week before Katrina was my birthday, so I turned 9. Everybody who was my age, all the Katrina babies, we had to do the same thing because it was just like this. In the twinkling of an eye, our lives changed. The water is at our feet. It's like at the bottom of the first step, like it's coming in. And I'm just asking my mama, are we gonna be okay? I'm a 9-year-old child. Are we gonna be okay? I didn't think we was gonna get rescued. We lost hope until the 3rd day where we saw a helicopter, was able to flag it down. I'm holding on to my mom and I'm like, man, I don't want the basket to fall. We're swinging over water and roofs right now. Like, this is big. I was just so grateful that we had got rescued, and I was just like, what's next? What's life after this?
Dealing with the storm, being a child, it kind of forced you to just grow up. There was maybe a year of time where I was away from home. Functioning, it was just surviving. Part of you as a kid gets excited because you're finally going back home. But then you're also hit with the reality that home is no longer the same anymore the moment you arrive. It smelled different. It smelled like flood water. It smelled like death. The sensory overload coming back into the city is something that also gets compartmentalized being a child.
I didn't want to go to school. I'm staying on my property. My house is not even there. Why do I need to come to school? I had no motivation.
If you could ever understand the suffering that some children are made to experience and that they can still get up and go to school. That was really my plea to Congress. Do not label our children as bad. Consider that they have deep sadness from all the adversities that they have been facing.
It's hard to think about what your life is going to look like. All it seems like is that you're having to rebuild an entirely new life.
Dealing with their trauma and rebuilding their lives, Jeremy now finds peace in photography.
Art was my escape.
And Jasmine finding joy the New Orleans way through music.
Music had become my therapy. It was almost like I was a sponge. And I just couldn't get enough.
We have trauma to heal from. We have wires to untangle mentally. So it's just a lot that you have to kind of unpack. So me at 31 years old, I'm still unpacking.
Hurricane Katrina, 20 years after the storm, with Robin Roberts, premieres tonight at 8 p.m. on ABC. Produced by Robin's production company, Rockin' Robin Productions and ABC News Studios. You can also stream it the next day on Hulu and Disney+. Rebecca.
A really powerful special there from Robin. All right, Whit, thank you. We're heading into the Labor Day weekend, so we're wrapping up our summer's Best Bites series with delicious and easy recipes, perfect for a party at home where you could bring them to any of your weekend festivities. And Casey Elsass, the author of What Can I Bring, is here to get the party started. Welcome back to GMA. Casey, it is so great to have you with us. I am super excited about this potato salad because it's got a pickle twist.
Yes. So I think something people mess up with potato salad is losing the moment where you get the best flavor, which is while the potatoes are hot.
Oh,
so
okay.
as soon as they're out of the water, we want to toss them with, we've got some pickle brine.
That's pickle brine, straight out of the juice jar.
Exactly.
Okay.
Some pepperoncini brine.
Oh, I
We're
like
gonna
that.
do some vinegar.
Hello.
And then celery seeds add a nice little flavor.
Very nice.
And a little salt. We can always use more salt.
Yeah, why not?
So you want to let those soak as they cool down.
Mhm.
Through the magic of TV, they're already cool.
Yes, but you're not going mayo on the hot stuff.
So anything liquid, put it in hot. Anything dressing, put it in when it cools down.
And that's a rule for always, or
yeah,
just for this?
because if the mayo goes in hot, it's going to break. It'll get greasy. We don't
No,
want
thanks.
that. We
Yeah,
want
no,
a nice
that sounds
cohesive.
gross.
So once they're cooled down, we'll do the mayo. We're going to throw in some mustard. And then here's where we're going to double up on some of our ingredients. We're coming back in with chopped up pickles, chopped up pepperoncini.
Oh, interesting.
We're going to add in some chives.
Yep.
And then I feel like you can never have enough herbs.
I love dill.
So we're
Fresh
going for dill, some parsley, and then we just toss it all together. And then you get this nice, creamy, acidic, briny, delicious
It
flavor.
ends up looking like this.
We got a beautiful one over here.
I like the addition of the pepperoncini too, which
Yeah,
I would not
pepperoncini's
necessarily think.
A little spicy, but not too spicy. It adds a great flavor to it.
You can still be a crowd pleaser with that one.
Yeah.
Speaking of pleasing the crowds, you
Yes.
have a trifle over here, which I think as somebody who doesn't always make the cake properly, this is very appealing.
This is what I would call a labor-free Labor Day dessert.
Nice.
We'll take that.
All store-bought ingredients, very little effort, just throw it all together. We've got carby, we've got creamy, we've got fruity. So for our carby,
The important food groups.
Exactly, right. So for carby, we've got some cut up pound cake, some crushed up ginger snaps, but those could be graham crackers, Biscoff, whatever you feel like. For the creamy, we're doing a whipped cream, but we're adding cream cheese, sour cream, powdered sugar, so it adds like a nice tanginess,
Yes.
it's a nice stability. And then
I'm into
for
that.
fruity, this is just frozen fruit, just a bag of frozen fruit.
Okay.
Just dump it in there?
So you don't even
First,
have to
we're
go
gonna
fresh.
add some orange zest and some orange juice.
Oh.
To help wake it up, help make a little sauce, and then you just build your layers,
Yeah,
and that's it.
wake your fruit up.
Yeah,
Come on.
So
exactly.
the first layer is the cake.
Right, so you're gonna start with the cake and then build up from there. So creamy, some graham crackers, some fruit, and just keep going. This is a great make ahead. It gets better as it sits in the fridge.
Is there a trick to make it so it doesn't get too like soupy, you know?
Well, that's where the cream cheese comes in. So it helps the whipped cream stay nice and firm.
Do you need to have this fancy looking thing dish?
This is beautiful if you want to impress, but I would even make it in mason jars and just serve individual.
Oh, nice. Like imagine this is a mason jar.
Right.
Okay,
Little
cool.
cups.
You can put it in your Tupperware, Will. It's
yes,
okay.
thank you. Just organized my Tupperware yesterday, as a matter of fact.
You have your new cookbook out, What Can I Bring? Tell us a little bit about why you created this book.
Because it's a stressful question. It's the question every guest has to ask, but there's a lot of stakes when you're bringing something. So these are 75 answers to help you solve that problem.
Normally people have one answer. It's like a bottle of wine.
Right. I'm encouraging you to go a little further beyond that.
But it is the question on the text chain when you got the date
Always.
We've been on those text chains asking, what can I bring?
All right. Well, we're going to divide and conquer next time we have a get together. You pick which one and I'll do the other.
We've got 75 options thanks
do.
to you, Casey. And coming up on GMA3, we're going to have even more options. I can't wait. This is beautiful. The halloumi and tomatoes.
This is a halloumi tomato caprese, and then we've got a salt and vinegar salsa verde.
So you're going to want to watch GMA3 for that.
All right. Thank you so much, Casey. I can't wait to dig into this. Will, of course, you're already at it. You can get these recipes on GoodMorningAmerica.com. Casey, as we said, is going to be back on GMA3 to keep this party going.
Now, as we get ready for a simple plan to perform for our summer concert series, and I am here in our Glow Up Lounge. Our sponsor, Massage Envy, is giving fans some skincare tips. And according to professional estheticians like these, anyone who might be acne prone should follow 3 simple tips. Avoid sun exposure and tanning beds, wash your face with a gentle cleanser, and make sure to use shampoo on your hair regularly. It is important to trust your self-care routine to a team of skilled professionals, and Massage Envy is the place to go for amazing skincare, massages, good stretch, facials, a ton of things, including results-driven skincare, which is what you're all getting, right? You all learning something? Yes, everybody's into it.
Here now with multi-platinum band Simple Plan joining us for our GMA Summer Concert Series. And this morning they're performing their pop punk classic hit, I'm Just a Kid. Take it away.
I woke up, it was 7, I waited till 11 just to figure out that no one would call. I think I've got a lot of friends, but I don't hear from them. What's another night all alone? When you're spending every day on your own, and here it goes. I'm just a kid, and life is a nightmare. I'm just a kid, I know that it's not fair. Nobody cares, 'cause I'm alone, and the world is having more fun than me. Good morning, America! And maybe when the night is dead, I'll crawl into my bed. I'm staring at these 4 walls again, and I'll try to think about the last time I had a good time. Everyone's got somewhere to go, and they're gonna leave me here on my own. And here it goes. I'm just a kid, and life is a nightmare. I'm just a kid, I know that it's not fair. Nobody cares, 'cause I'm alone, and the world is. Nobody wants to be alone in the world. I'm just a kid, and life is a nightmare. I'm just a kid, I know that it's not fair. Nobody cares, 'cause I'm alone, and the world is. Nobody wants to be alone in the world. And nobody cares, I'm alone, and the world is having more fun than me. Tonight, I'm all alone tonight. Nobody cares tonight, 'cause I'm just a kid tonight.
Back now with Simple Plan. This morning, the pop punk band is taking a quick break from their Bigger Than You Think tour and joining us here for our GMA concert series. So glad to have you guys here. Thank you so much for being in studio with us. You've already rocked out once. You're going to rock out again in just a second, but we have a couple questions for you first. You released a new single, Nothing Changes, as part of the soundtrack for this documentary, and you're going to perform for us this morning. We want to see you do that in just a sec. But first, you guys are playing a sold-out show in Boston tonight?
Yes, we swung by this morning here, but we're heading out to Boston after this and going to play we're on tour right now.
Yeah.
So our sold out show tonight in Boston, then we got Philly, we got a bunch of other shows too. So it's nonstop.
So early morning here, and then
we'll have to nap in the van.
Hey, but that probably takes you back to your roots, right?
Yes, exactly. We're actually going to be traveling in a van today. It's been a long time. Our bus is already in Boston, so we're going to get in the van and do a 4-hour drive to Boston.
So
here we come.
The 4-hour drive to Boston, rest those vocals on the way up because you got a big show tonight. But you guys have been doing this for a long time. This is the 25th anniversary this year
of the band.
When you think about 25 years, like it must just blow your mind a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, you pinch yourself. You're like, where'd the time go? Which is the whole point of the song, Nothing Changes. It's like all this time has gone by, and some things obviously do change. But as a band, it feels like we're still the same guys, still playing the same music, and still enjoying what we do,
And you're commemorating those 25 years with a new documentary?
Yes, on Prime Video, and it's called Simple Plan, The Kids in the Crowd. Came out about a month ago, and it's awesome.
Okay, well, we're going to check that out. But first, you're going to keep your TVs tuned where they are because we've got a performance from Simple Plan. You're going to perform Kids in the Crowd?
It's called Nothing Changes.
Nothing Changes. But there are kids in the crowd over there. All right, Simple Plan, take it away.
One more time, make some noise.
Simple Plan, a great performance of Nothing Changes. Great to be with you.
Thank you so much
See you
for
tomorrow.
watching.